Amaka, a quiet village girl, arrives at the luxurious Lagos home of Chief and Madam Durojai. Hired as a live-in housemaid, she is unfamiliar with the city's pace and mansion's strict routine. Madam Durojai is particular about order, while Chief is mostly away on business trips. Amaka is assigned heavy chores but remains respectful and observant. Other staff whisper about her background, noting how little she talks. What no one knows is that Amaka had another reason for coming, one connected to Chief's past. As she unpacks her few belongings, she hides an old faded photo under her mattress, a photo of a younger Chief holding a baby. Amaka stares at the image quietly, muttering, "You don't remember me, but I remember everything." Her presence in that house is not by accident. While cleaning the upstairs hallway, Amaka notices a room that's always locked. Curious, she asked one of the other maids, Bola, about it. But Bola quickly shuts her down. "That's Madam's room. No one goes in there, ever." Amaka makes a mental note. That night, she hears movements and whispers behind the door. Days goes by, and Amaka begins to notice strange things. Photos in the house that seems altered, documents hidden inside books, and keys that are carefully guarded. She becomes increasingly convinced that the family is hiding something. Chief arrives from a business trip, and for a moment, his gaze lingers on Amaka. She feels a shiver. He doesn't recognize her, but something in his eyes makes her worry. Later that evening, she sneaks into the hallway and places her ear against the locked door and hears crying inside. Madame Durojaye starts to observe Amaka more closely. She doesn't like how quiet the girl is, or how often she seems to be in places she shouldn't be. She questions the other staff, but no one reports anything specific. One morning, Madame catches Amaka staring at a family portrait in the living room. "You like the picture?" she asks coldly. Amaka simply nods, but Madame doesn't miss the way her eyes linger too much on Chief's face. That night, Madame checks the housemaid belongings while she is asleep and finds nothing unusual until she uncovers the photo under the mattress. It's a photo she thought no longer existed. Her hands tremble. That photo could ruin everything. She places it back silently, but makes a call the next day to someone she hadn't spoken to in years. "She is here," she says into the phone, and she knows. A week later, a stranger arrives at the house. A well-dressed elderly woman named Mama Nene. She claims to be Amaka's aunt. Madame Drojaye is polite but cautious, offering her tea. Amaka seems uncomfortable. In private, Mama Nene wants her to leave the house. "You got what you came for. Don't push your luck. That man is dangerous." But Amaka refuses. "I need to hear him say it. I need to hear him tell the truth." Later that day, Chief overhears Amaka humming a tune, an old lullaby he hasn't heard in decades. He stops in his tracks, visibly shaken. When he asks where she learned it, Amaka answers calmly, "My mother used to sing it before she died." Chief looks pale. He excuses himself quickly, but the damage is done. A memory long buried begins to resurface. Amaka manages to sneak into the study one afternoon when the family is out. She rifles through locked drawers and cabinets until she finds a brown envelope marked "Confidentials." Inside are old letters, birth records, and paternity test results. One document confirms her belief. Chief is her biological father. The letters are addressed to her late mother, pleading with her to keep the child hidden to protect his reputation. Furious, Amaka breaks down in tears. She wasn't abandoned by accident. She was deliberately erased. She copies the document and hides the originals where no one can find them. Amaka now holds evidence that could destroy the Durojaye name. But she also knows that if Madame discovers what she's found, her life could be in danger. Madam Durojaye confronts Amaka after a tense dinner. "You've been sneaking around. What are you looking for?" she demands. Amaka denies everything, but her voice shakes. Madam warns her, "This house has buried secrets, and so can you." That night, Amaka wakes to find her mattress slashed open and her things scattered. It's a clear message. She's being watched. Bola warns her quietly, "You've touched something they don't want exposed. Be careful." Meanwhile, Chief grows distant and uneasy. He starts asking staff questions about Amaka. Madam Drojai becomes increasingly paranoid, suggesting they send the girl away. But Chief resists, saying it will raise suspicion. For now, they pretend nothing is wrong, but beneath the surface, the battle lines are drawn. Chief Durojaye finally asks Amaka to come into his study. He stares at her for a long time, then places the old photo on the table. "Where did you get this?" he asks. Amaka replies, "From my mother. You left us." He confesses to having known about her existence, but chooses silence to protect his political and business career. He offers her money to stay quiet and leave. Amaka refuses. "I didn't come for your money. I came for my name, for justice." Chief is stunned by her determination. He asks for time to think. Amaka gives him 1 week. Unknown to her, Madam has been listening through a hidden intercom, and now she is prepared to do anything to stop the truth from coming out. Madam devises a plan. She instructs the cook to serve Amaka a special meal laced with sleeping pills. The goal is to make her ill enough to send her away under the guise of needing medical attention. But Bola intervenes, switching the plate. That night, Madam herself eats the drug meal and collapses. She is rushed to the hospital, and rumors spread of poisoning within the household. Chief begins to suspect everyone, but deep inside, he knows his wife is capable of such schemes. He calls his lawyer the next morning. "Prepare a press release," he says, "and draft an amendment to my will." Chief calls a press conference and makes a shocking announcement. He has a daughter from a previous relationship, and her name is Amaka. The media erupts in scandal. Some praise him for his courage, while others accuse him of disgrace. Madam disappears from the house temporarily, unable to face the backlash. Amaka, now legally acknowledged, is offered a share in the estate and a seat in Chief's foundation, but she remains guarded. "This doesn't fix what was done," she says. Chief agrees, but it's a start. The staff begin to treat her differently, no longer as a maid, but as a part of the family. With her identity revealed and her mother's name finally cleared, Amaka takes charge of her future. She uses her inheritance to establish a charity for abandoned children and victims of family rejection. Chief tries to build a relationship, but Amaka keeps her distance, still healing. Madam eventually returns, but avoids her entirely. Bola is promoted to housekeeper, and the house slowly settles into a new rhythm. Amaka moves into her own apartment, still close enough to watch the Jirojaris, just in case. She closes the chapter not with vengeance, but with strength. Her presence in the house has changed everything and has come not to destroy, but to be seen. Thank you for watching. See you in our next story.